Good morning, everybody. Thanks for coming to our third Friday catch-up with the enablers. So you as an audience are our solution providers who serve a set of clients or your subscribers or the SMEs in Malaysia or in overseas. So why do we have this Friday catch-up? Is because that a lot of the enablers outside there don't know what's going on or need to know more about MDEC initiative. So I've also invited two of my colleagues. One is from data ecosystem and the other one is from the talent team to talk about MyWit. Hanina and CP will come in later. So just now we had a practice session. So the practice session, who comes first will present first. Okay. So thank you so much for coming. We have about 19 business owners and also enablers here. So we only have this once a month. So my Rizwan and I will curate who are the speakers. So we only have until 12. So hopefully the speakers also will share as brief as they can. Now, let's move on to the first speaker. I want to get Edmund and Tim from SME Bank get ready. So they will share about a lot of SMEs do B2B, need capital funding. So how can SME Bank help you on their solution? Edmund, ready?
Ready?
Edmund, you're on mute, right? If you're trying to talk.
Ready, yes.
Ready, huh? So I let Edmund do the projection of the slides. And I think Hairil and also Nasiruddin from SME Bank will do the presentation. Okay, so the floor is yours now, SME Bank team. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Carol. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Hairil. So, Edmund, the tagline is simple, is growing together. So, Edmund, go to the next slide. Okay. Let me introduce about SME Bank. SME Bank have a vision of leaders in ecosystem value, creating beyond financing. Most of the bank is purely about financing. Now we are go beyond than financing, whereby we are start adopting to digital, this advisory, offering the digital platform, because we believe we need to sustain or make it the business more resilient rather than just giving financing. Under SME Banks, we have our subsidiary we call SEDA. SEDA is Center of Entrepreneur Development and Research, whereby are responsible to adapt, get SME adapt to digital adoption and also developmental. And also we have SAM. SAM is more about collection, debt collectors subsidiaries. So and restructuring the accounts. Next, Edmund. Okay. Edmund, next. Okay. Okay. Okay, for today's, we believe everyone's know B2C more about cash value of the business, but it's not for B2B. B2B, definitely the approach is more towards advisory. They have a credit term and so on. But again, under this COVID environment, most of a B2B have impacting of the cash flow. Some big company delay the payment or close the companies. So today, how SME Bank can help partners by two things. Next, Edmund. First, how we can connect SME to the potential customer who has the credit term with us, so they can make payment faster. One. Number two, we also would like to share you what is current package that of funding that can help SME to sustain and expand the business. Next, Edmund. Okay, next. Okay, very simple. SME Bank, we has a platform we call Odela. We are focusing to B2B business to our customers. So under SME Bank, we have 7,000 customers where has a credit facilities with us. So they have ready money to utilize. So today we would like to grow together with all the B2B partners, whereby we can integrate the platform and we help you to connect to the potential client. Not only that, we also will help you when we have captured the behaviors and everything. We would like to offer financing to B2B platform and also the others customer for us to sustain and grow the business. All right, next, Edmund. Please stop me if you have any questions. Under B2B that is backed by the DFI, mean what is DFI backed by DFI? It means all the customers under platform Odella is already have financing with us. It means like they have limits to spend. So under B2B platform, we would like to collaborate with you, or we would like to open market for you for these 4 sectors. First is construction. Number 2 is retail and wholesale and retail, manufacturing, and F&B. Because these 4 sector has most of our customers come from this sector and they have the capacity financing to be utilized. Under this integration, everyone who are interested can call to below's number muhammad.zudi@smebank.com.my, where they can help you to connect to your future or potential client in SME Bank. I think that is from me. Without further ado, I pass to my team Nazir to share about the what current stimulus package that SME Bank offer to the SMEs. Right.
Hello, good morning. Assalamualaikum. Can everybody see me or hear me?
Yes, yeah, we see you, Nazir.
You can start your presentation already, Nasir.
Okay, under this government stimulus package, under SME Bank, currently we have 2 types of stimulus package. So first we have STTF and TRRF. So I would like to go by this STTF first. So the STTF is defined as SME Technology Transformation Fund, because this is one part of the government economic package, so to provide assistance to all our SMEs. So this one is for machineries purchase and all the technology aspect for customer lah. Actually, when let's say the customer want to purchase specific machineries or specific equipment, computer hardware, IT solution or technology support services and etc. within the scope of it, then customer can apply, then we will put under this package. So under this package, the financing tenure is up to 10 years. So the profit rate is up to 4% per annum lah, because this one is under government's fund, under BNM so called. So I would like to go to the detail of this STTF just in brief. So the eligibility criteria for this STTF, for sure the company need to be registered with SSM. Then the shareholding by the public listed company or government link shall not exceed 20%. So the 51% shares should be held by the nation residing in Malaysia and at least 2 years in operation, and with no legal action against the company, the director or the shareholders. So under the credit parameter for this STTF, for sure it must be creditworthiness of the customer. Creditworthiness we define as CRIS, CTOS to be on track lah. So at least the minimum requirement that we need, the company need to have the latest audited for the financial year or equivalent. Then the audited account should not be qualified. Then the others in addition, the facility that we can grant under this STTF is in the form of term financing. So this one actually on the margin of finance for this financing is up to 80% of the acquisition cost of the machineries. Then the financing amount is from minimum as 100,000 up to 3 million. And the collateral mainly the asset that customer want to purchase, and 80% guaranteed by SJPP or CGC. Then the joint several guarantee by the directors. So others collateral is still subject to credit assessment lah. So admin, next on the TRRF. Okay, TRRF is another stimulus package by the government. Actually, this TRRF, we can call it as a continuation from the earlier during the COVID-19. We call it as a SRF. But the only thing, this TRRF, the maximum amount we only can grant up to 500,000. So we are targeting to all the Malaysian SMEs that are affected by the COVID. And this one is to be used as a working capital. Maximum is up to 500,000 lah per SME, and the rate is 3.5% per annum. To note, this one is under Bank Negara. It's Bank Negara fund. So among the cheapest fund lah, because we are providing to the services sector for personal services, F&B, human health, arts, wholesale and retail, and etc. So, but the only thing under this financing of TRRF for those customer that already have SRF facility with other bank, the combination for the financing normally they will go up to 500,000 lah. That means if let's say you have SRF 200,000 with other banks, if you are applying for TRRF, so the maximum TRRF that when we can grant is only up to 300, because the combination is 500,000. Because this is the additional info lah. For those yang not a recipient of SRF, then you are eligible for that 500,000 facility. So others in terms of credit criteria and so on is the same as STTF, whereby need to have a good conduct of account, secrets, CTOS, and so on to be clear. So no ongoing legal action, and further approval is still subject to our credit assessment. Okay, I think, and another thing, next slide, Edmund. Another thing, in addition, I would like to in terms of the SME's activity must be in line with our Sharia compliance, and like I say, financially of the financial of the company must be healthy and solvent. At least to have a good financial lah. I think that's all from me for these two facilities, STTF and TRRF. So if let's say have any others question and further inquiries, maybe you can drop by to SME Bank Kajang, because in Selangor, because I'm representing also a Selangor region. So I also have a branch in Kajang branch, Shah Alam, and as well as to our HQ lah. So all the customers can reach out to our any branches. All right, thank you.
Thanks, Nasir. So hang on this slide first. Edmund, is there any contact slide after this? Kalau tak ada, then we maintain this slide. Rizwan, can you go to the Q&A?
Yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
Okay. All right. We have one question from Eric Mindbase. If they want to integrate with your API, I believe this is for Odela also, how could they proceed?
Okay, please contact the numbers that I mentioned just now on the slide, Cik Zudi. He will arrange necessary for the company integrate with Odela.
Chaira, can you put the contact number also on the chat?
Already.
Yes, they have
contact on the
number.
chat. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, that would be great. I think
And
that
you
would be.
can you can scan the QR code to send an email straight to Zodi.
Cool.
Yes. Okay. Any other question? No. So guys, Odella offers you financial support for your merchants who already have a contract or going to have a big purchase or big buyout, not really buyout. What do you call that? A big delivery. If they need financial support, you can actually go to uh,
Bank.
to SME Bank via Odella platform or directly via their sales
Yeah.
group.
Representative. Yeah.
Yes. Right.
Eugene, I saw Eugene Wang raise your hand. You want to talk? You open up your mic, yeah, Eugene, if you got a question. So any of the enablers here who has a B2B platform especially, so Odella is inviting you. Your front end will still be your B2B
Yep.
platform. Is the back end is the one that is supported by Odella, and also the financing data is all there so that the bank can see how many transactions that you'll be doing. So the API integration is done via the Odella team. So your front end still your branding, your marketing. So that's why I put up Eric Chong from MindBiz. MindBiz is a B2B platform. So they have a lot of manufacturers and furniture owners, those sawmills, kilang papan. They have a lot of this. So Eric Chong is one of the PIC from MindBiz, and more than happy to share. I can share the contacts to admin as well for you all to reach out. Okay. Okay.
okay,
So we
Eugene
are
Wong.
Eugene.
You go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I just realized because my company is still is within just 1 year, so I just realized the criteria is at least 2 years in operation. It's all right. So I'll read through the slide better.
Okay,
I see.
we will
Okay.
PDF the slides. Okay, we'll PDF the slide and share over.
Okay.
Okay, let's go to the next speaker. Please unshare this slide. And let's go to Syed Ali Logistic. Are you ready?
Yep, hold on.
Hold on.
Yep.
Okay. Nasir, turn off your camera. The next one is more for addressing the logistic company, but I let Syed introduce his new startup called Luwjistik, a very cool name. Syed, the floor is yours right now. Thank you.
Hi, good morning. Assalamualaikum. Salam sejahtera semua. It's an honor again to be speaking as part of the MDEC engagement. You guys may previously know me from my previous startup called Janio. Technically, this is my third startup called Luwjistiks, but we are not a logistics provider. I chose the name Luwjistiks purely because my late mother, who just passed away on the 4th of January, she's Indonesian, and how she pronounced the word logistics is logistics. So this is actually a dedication from a son to a mother, accordingly. But just to be very clear, we are not a logistics solutions provider. We are a technology SaaS platform that enables a logistics company and major shippers by connecting them to the various supply chain stakeholders accordingly. So just a quick one. Again, Luwjistik was founded by myself and my partner Ming. We just recently got established this year. Alhamdulillah, even though we're only 3 months old, we have now 30 over partners on the platform already, serving 7 countries, including other than Malaysia. We are in Singapore, Indonesia, Thailand, Hong Kong, and Taiwan, and Philippines accordingly. And by Q4 of this year, we will be connected to Vietnam and Australia. And by Q1 next year, in the Middle East. Alhamdulillah, we are invested, strangely enough, by most of our investment are coming from Indonesian VCs such as East Venture, MDI, which is part of the Comcel, Finch Capital from Netherlands, and also Global Founders, which is part of Rocket Internet Group. again, so what is logistics? So basically, it's just a simple idea of creating a platform to connect our clients, which is the logistics company or major shipper, to the different network partner, service provider in customs and last mile around the region through a single API window. Through this single API window, you connect with the logistics platform, you will gain access to multiple network partner, including first mile, last mile, customs, and freight forwarding accordingly. So technically, traditionally, where you would usually fly someone down to the country that you want to expand to, now you don't need to do all this. We already onboard all the required service provider that you need. You can just connect through us. Everything is we've done the due diligence, we've done all the compliance check, and we've done all the required mapping for you to just easily connect and enable your service. So if you're a service provider in Malaysia right now, and you are not doing cross-border right now through logistics, you can immediately enable your operational capability by saying that you are connected to all the anywhere in Southeast Asia through our platform, because we give you direct and transparent access to all the network partners accordingly. So as you know, through this pandemic, perhaps the silver lining, somehow very irony, is we've seen a huge increase with regards to cross-border e-commerce. But cross-border e-commerce, as you know, perhaps putting Singapore aside, is still a closed group of people, especially with regards to customs. I joke many times that logistics is the second oldest profession in the world. It's always been about relationships and experience and all. Because of that, it's always a close knit of people who have access to the right people that can get connected. So with that, what we're trying to do is we're trying to democratize, revolutionize how the logistics industry works by putting everybody in the same platform so that we can create our own ecosystem to support everybody and anybody. So basically with that said also, cross-border, as you know, is predominantly still being dominated by the major integrators, and also by a small group of service provider. We feel that through the logistics platform, by giving access to our clients, the correct service provider or the qualified service provider, basically you are able to support the industry, the Malaysian exporter, to export to anywhere and everywhere at competitive rates accordingly. So again, it's just a very simple idea. What logistics is a logistic is technically an API interchange, an interchange where you connect one time, and basically you get all the different access to all the network partner in all 7 countries that we are operating in already. On top of that, all the headache with regards to documentations, label, everything is already actually solved in the platform accordingly, so that you don't need to do any setup whatsoever. All you need to do is start pushing orders and start connecting to the different partners and pushing orders, and you can start shipping accordingly. So if Tony Fernandez said now anybody can fly, Syed Ali is saying now anybody can do cross-border logistics. So some application with regards to logistics. So basically, as she shared earlier, traditionally you would find an operations guy to fly to perhaps Indonesia or Thailand, Philippines to find a network partner. Today, through logistics, you don't need to do all this accordingly. We already onboard all the different local, localized network partner in customs and last mile and first mile for you guys to be connected almost instantaneously accordingly. So technically also, as a logistics provider, you can also do virtual drop shipment. So meaning if I'm a Malaysian logistics provider or an enabler, I can, through the logistics platform, you also can sell services, take example, shipping from Indonesia to Singapore or Philippines to Thailand accordingly, even though you're not physically there. So what we're trying to do is increase your operational capabilities virtually, powered by logistics, and eventually leading to commercial growth. On top of that, we simplify your supply chain. As shared earlier, we have pretty much standardized and make easy all the documentation which is required to do customs, in all the different country. More importantly, we have standardized the duties and tax also, so that there's no surprise or hidden cost that you are offering to your clients accordingly. More importantly, we are just a platform. The relationships between yourself, which is our client, and the network partner is very transparent. All the you choose, you are empowered to choose whoever you want to work with. The rates are there, everything is transparent. There's no hidden cost whatsoever. We don't mark up or whatnot. Basically, you are empowered to choose whoever you want to work with the rates that they provided, and on top of that, there's an automated control panel that you can pretty much switch volume or allocate volume automatically. Last but not least, again, efficient order allocation. What does this mean? Pretty much, when previously you are using a human knowledge to allocate the orders accordingly, we have built in all the required AIs and information for you to make sound decision to allocate the volume to the different partner dependent on your criteria, such as service level, turnaround time, or even price, and all the based on the different zones. So as shared, we have different type of service providers ranging from first mile, freight forwarders, customs, and last mile accordingly. These are some of our customers, some of our network partners that have been onboarded. If you are keen to be onboarded also as a network partner, please feel free to reach out to us. I'm based in Malaysia, in Kuala Lumpur. Please feel free to reach out to me. We will be more than happy to onboard you. And most of our network partners here are actually our clients also, because we are creating our own ecosystem that supports one another, that is, like I say, democratizing and revolutionizing how we should work as logistics companies. It's all about collaboration rather than competition. So this is just an overview of some screenshots with regards to our system. But overall, again, through logistics, let's be connected. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you. There's a question. Rizwan, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, go ahead.
I like how he presents. Is very energetic. So, all right, Syed. Only one question, Syed. From Shamir bin Sharul Karib. Question is logistics same like Easy Parcel?
Slightly different. So Easy Parcel is a marketplace whereby they are serving the end shipper. The end shippers such as Fashion Valley atau Zalora atau
Carolfung.com.
Yes, Carolfung.com and whatnot. So logistics is more of we position ourselves as an enabler for the logistics industry, for the logistics provider. We want logistics provider in Malaysia and all to expand overseas, to say that look, they can start supporting Malaysian SMEs to start exporting to Indonesia, to Singapore and whatnot, on your own accord accordingly. As shared with Carol earlier, while my first two startup was trying to disrupt the logistics industry, this third startup is all about collaborating, trying to enable logistics companies, to enable them to start exporting overseas. I sincerely feel Malaysian companies can support Malaysian SMEs accordingly to export through the logistics platform.
How many custom agents are there in your in logistics right now, Syed?
So currently we are operating in 7 countries already. In one country, easily got around 2 to 3 customs agents that you can choose accordingly.
So,
but yeah.
Go on. So for anyone here who are in the logistics and you have not even maybe export to, let's say, Taiwan, for example. So this is the platform for you to engage the custom agent via logistics. That's where you start already. So you can offer and tell your clients, hey, now I can help you to export to Taiwan because I'm using logistics. So this is where logistics comes in.
Yep. And more importantly, from a logistics point of view, our client is you, the enablers. We are not interested in the Fashion Valley of the world, Zalora, Lazada, and Shopee. That's your client and all. We just want to enable you accordingly. And all. I sincerely feel that there's an opportunity for local logistics company to support local SMEs accordingly and through the logistics platform.
what mode of transportation do you use? Air or sea?
So currently everything is air first, but we are developing the freight solution, which includes cross-border trucking and also sea.
Hmm. So-
Syed, can you provide who they should contact? Although I will have your slides. Website for logistics. Can everybody type their questions in the Q&A so that Rizwan can get back? Okay. Ali Abba should answer the chat, yeah?
Yeah.
Syed, can you share at the chat your contact detail as well as your website so people can actually get more details, or a good a salesperson who these enablers can actually contact you if they need to work to collaborate with you.
Yeah, no worries. I'm typing my email in the chat group right now.
Thank you, Syed.
Great.
What is Ali
Guys,
Abba doing?
today's huddle is brought to you by MDEC E-commerce community, where merchants and platform are encouraged to get together to get the latest information on what's happening on e-commerce landscape. So this program that you're having today is exclusively for enablers, right? So we give you scoop information that is more relevant to you rather than to your end customer, right? And likewise, join us if you haven't do so, which by right you should have done so. Join us at Ding Talk. Please subscribe, share, and like our unofficial YouTube channel. So, yes, this is unofficial because we need somewhere to put all the videos. People keep on asking on how to,
Play.
to replay, to look at the replay and so on. So we put all at one channel. Yes. So click
So that's
like,
it.
subscribe.
Yeah.
Carol, even though Carol is monetizing, she's getting like 2-3 cents only. So we hope you guys can find platform uh, this platform useful to you. And Carol did share a lot of information during COVID on how to survive COVID. I don't know whether she's doing any more 30 the 1 minute video. Are you doing any more one
No
upcoming?
time. No time.
But it's a good content for you to know, right? So I'm sharing you the playback also. And Carol, next session
Next
we
session
can go
we
to the
have
next session.
okay, now I need to get Syed to off the video. We want to get ready CP from data ecosystem. Remove pin. Let me add pin.
Okay.
Now CP is from our data ecosystem team, and he will be sharing what are the data sharing that he from his division to everyone here as an enablers. CP, the flow is yours right now.
Okay, good. Thank you, Carol, for inviting me and then from data ecosystem to provide a bit about what we do in our data ecosystem development department. So everybody can see my slides, I hope.
Coming up.
Okay, coming up. Okay, so I'm part of the data ecosystem development department, and also under the bigger umbrella of digital adoption ecosystem division, which e-commerce team is part of it. So what I will be sharing with you today is from the data ecosystem development department, a program that we call Data Technology Adoption Program. So we like to share, maybe this is something as a e-commerce enabler, something that we may be able to collaborate going forward. Okay. The way we see it is on the data. This is a kind of a journey and vision that we have for ourselves, and also maybe hopefully that we can chart this journey for the whole of mission. As we all know, data is the new oil. And has been new oil, but the problem is that data needs to be processed and all those things. So we have been concentrating a lot about looking at the talent and also some awareness. Going forward, what we are looking at from a RMK12 perspective is we like to look at the way how can we promote and encourage data sharing. So I think this is a very good time for us to share about this and what we are doing. And because from what I just said, like logistics and all these things, eventually, if everyone collaborates and there's a form of data sharing, that mechanism, I think that's where the whole growth of digital economy will grow. We like to position that eventually data will become an economic asset. This is just a vision for us. We have shared this with the MOF, and MOF budget team sort of like this kind of vision because it can position data becomes economic assets, and then in future whether there'll be a data exchange platform whereby there's a value or monetization procedure that can be come out, but then of course that we need some data commissioner regulator. But this is a bit more longer term, but at least that's a vision that we like to look at. And from this year onwards, going forward, data sharing and adoption is what we are focusing on. The reason why you want to look at so much on data is, this is how we think that eventually business will value their data, or at least have a way to know how much data is their worth. So these are just some data from some research organization from ESG and Splunk, whereby, how does the data, by using data, how does that increase the revenue and how does that reduce your operational? And then, of course, the next one is from a corporate perspective, the ESG side, not ESG, in terms of corporate governance and sustainability, data will be the foundation of making better decisions. And then, as we all know, this is more from Mark Zuckerberg, they buy a company not because of the value of the company, but because of the data that the company provides. So again, if you try to think from yourself, eventually as an enabler, think of yourself, the data that you have, and how can it be of use to you going forward? Start thinking about that. So specifically for what we have done a data kita program. We'll share a bit about what is data kita. But overall, under the digital adoption, we are looking across the whole business enterprise, from the individual all the way to the large crowd. And of course, we segmentize some program based on the needs of the individual organization. But don't worry, whatever we are going to share today can cover across. So this is the program that we have under the data ecosystem. We call it the data kita. The K, I, T, and A stands for the pillars of knowledge, infrastructure, talent, and action. So I think this is a catchy word, and we are proud to use this word going forward. Okay, so knowledge is about talking about how to make sure that the organization, the people understands and be data literate. Infrastructure, this is about foster data-driven environment, and this is something maybe going forward is something that we can try to look at from a pilot project or something, that how do we foster data-driven, especially on the data sharing side. And then on talent, we have a program under the talent department, a division that have come up with the university's curriculum and all these things that encourage more talent data professionals to come up into the market. And then, of course, whatever we do, we must make sure that business enterprises actually adopt some of this data technology, so that the talent that professionals that are coming up from the university can be absorbed by our business enterprises. We don't want them to go overseas as usual. So the way we see it is that if you want to use data to drive your business outcome, the first thing is to get connected, and to get connected, basically you have a bit of automation or using of internet of things. I think this is the starting point for all companies. And if I assume that you are e-commerce enablers, I think most of you are already connected. Maybe some of you have an internet of things, but that's okay. But the next step for you is, have you considered what to do with the data that you have? Is it data analytics, as what we say? And from data analytics, then you can only have artificial intelligence. And under it is that we want to encourage much data sharing between the organization. both within and outside. Okay, this is something that we like to work with you going forward. I would like to go into this slide. So this is the program that we have exactly for you, because we assume that you are enterprises that would like to be basing your decision on data. You know, we like to also encourage you or accelerate you to become a data-driven enterprises. So what we like to offer to you is that, you know, we have a data knowledge workshop and webinar. Example, last week, end of October, we had a full week of AI data week. You know, it's about 40 events, 43 events that were run concurrently during that week. And then we actually have also a data analytics and AI assessment tool that you can use. It's a complementary tool that you can use to assess yourself, you know, where you are in terms of your data analytics journey. And then we have a pool of data analytics and expert advisory. Presently, we have 17 that can able to provide a complimentary 2 hours pro bono advisory to you about how you can use your data to become data driven. And then, of course, if let's say you want to talk about talent and training, you know, when training, you're talking about within your organization in terms of data literacy, we can help to facilitate. And then, of course, this is something that we can also share if possible, use cases, solutions, and business matching. So to enable these data-driven enterprises, we have a category called data technology partners. Because MDEC, as you know, we are not a consultant. We are not consultant. We are not providing any services that will charge you money. So what we do is that we like to develop the ecosystem in Malaysia, you know, that will provide all these knowledge and these solutions to the business enterprises. So you can consider us like we are bridging and facilitating the demand and the supply side. I won't go into this. So this is the way that we feel that may be of use or be benefit to you. You know, so what we are trying to do from a holistic perspective is that, you know, that there's this journey, not journey, I guess a step-by-step approach. But from your perspective, if you want to contact MDEC, you can contact MDEC anytime or us anytime. You know, so what we do is that whenever we engage with customers or business enterprises, we tell them this holistic approach first. You know, but then because of each customer has a different readiness, so they can come and contact MDEC to see how can we facilitate. You know, eventually by doing this way of providing these services, we hope that we are become your trusted advisor or trusted partner in going forward in your data-driven journey. You know, so you can look at this. You know, I like to encourage you all, you know, to take this complimentary ready for data and AI readiness assessment, and then maybe after that, you know, we can share with you who are the people that you can reach out to provide some high-level consultation for you. And then, but then let's say if you already know what you want to do, you know, maybe there are some local data analytics firm that can maybe help you some of your use cases, you know, especially on the data that you have now. So this is just an understanding of just what we have done so far, you know, awareness, engagement, gather, requirement discovery, you know. So this is technology partners. We have 50 now. Of course, this number will not stop. We will continue growing, and we have presently about 22 training partners. And then these are some of the companies that we've onboarded in this journey. And these are the list of the analytics, data analytics expert advisory. So on the talent side, you know, these are the universities that have data professional courses in their curriculum already. You know, so if you are looking to hiring some people from these universities, you know, you can know where to reach out them. And then let's say within your organization is that if you want to upskill your talent within your company, you know, who are the training partners that can provide you? And these are the list of the training partners. Again, don't worry, I'll be providing these slides to you, everyone. So in summary, you know, what we do is that we are providing a data analytics and AI assessment tool. So you can take this assessment tool. It will take about 20 minutes of your time. And then based on this, you can also reach out to us to see whether you want to reach out to a data and analytics expert to provide some advisory. This is more of a high-level consultation. We like to also encourage this one to be only for the C-suite, not for everyone. And then if you need some technology solution providers, we do have a lot of technology solution providers covering from IoT, analytics, cybersecurity, and cloud. We can do business matching. And then on digital talent, interns and fresh graduate placement, employee upskilling. And then the last one is more advertorial. Maybe this maybe good for some of you or even your clients. We are looking for more people to talk about their journey in data driven. So that then it becomes a more, it will churn more out. If people share more what they are doing in terms of data driven going forward, more companies will also adopt this journey. Okay. And for any more information, you can always go to www.mdec.my.in. That's it.
Cool. Is there any contact slides there?
I didn't. I put here.
Okay. Let them. We will PDF the slides for them.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So CP, if they want more info, they can go to click, right?
Yes.
But you get all whatever that you need, you can find at the website. We actually periodically updated keep on updating our sites our website, so you can check a look, have a look. Yes, or you can
I think I think what I want to maybe just to say is I really like to look into this data sharing thing going forward. Going forward about this data sharing. Because that's the kind of things that is from I feel like it may be a more transformative going forward.
Yes, and there's still a taboo about my data is my data. If I give my data, then others will abuse it. So I can assure you, on MDEC perspective, MDEC point of view, we take very serious when it comes to data security.
So for your information, is MDEC now is KKMM is drafting the national data sharing policy. So hopefully by end of the year there will be some kind of policy statement out from the data sharing.
Yeah. So one thing that you guys should note is that if you share data with us, of course we will not be sharing specific data, but this data will be helpful for government to actually plan on what needs to assist on the industry point of view, on the ecosystem landscape itself. So the government have a view of what is happening. Correct, CP?
Yeah. There are two things about data sharing. One, of course, is from government to you and also you to government. That's part of the national data sharing policy. The other one is that between organization. So how to break the barrier of between organization, that is also very important. So I think it's a journey for every one of us, just that we need to know where to find that sweet spot or whatever. We believe that from a data sharing perspective or data exchange perspective is that it will be by industry. It cannot be finance to logistic. It will be a logistic. It will be e-commerce by e-commerce. So that kind of things may happen. So we don't know yet, but this is the thought process that we have.
Right. So any question, guys? You can ask question. This is your time. So now you know that we do have an emphasis on data in MDEC itself. So if you seek for experts, you seek for guidance, you can come to us.
Thanks, CP, for sharing. At least
no problem.
we
Thank you
across
for
division. At least we across division also we learn data kita, the initiative.
Yes.
Kan,
Yes.
Rizwan?
Correct.
Thank you. Up we have Hani from MDEC talent team. This one is interesting. We see got last two sharing from one is Hani from talent and also Basker to talk about the VAT collection when you do export cross border. Okay, let me unpin Rizwan and CP, and get ready with Hani. Mana itu Hani punya muka mana? Nina, let me pin you first, Hani. Okay, Hani, thank you again for joining us for last minute. I saw your presentation in our Talent Tribe meeting. So I said, this is a very interesting sharing that you should share to our community. Talk about incentive of hiring workers and all. Hani, the floor is yours. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Carol. Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to, of course, the organizers, Carol and team, fellow panel speakers, and also the audience that are here today. I am excited to be sharing this initiative with you. My name is Hanina Rahim. You can call me Hani. I am with the digital workforce team under the bigger umbrella of digital skills and job division. So my digital workforce in tech is basically, or my WIT in short, is an initiative to incentivize employers such as, my fellow panel members here and you out there as the enablers, e-commerce enablers, to incentivize yourself to hire unemployed Malaysians via digital reskilling or upskilling. Now, it also aims to meet the strong demand of digital business services jobs and also higher value digital tech jobs. So what does MyWit offers? It basically offers a salary and training incentives to companies that hire digital talent. Right, so basically this is the, I have about 11 slides, so I'm just going to go quickly. Feel free to ask questions on the chat box. So this is basically the program overview and who or what are the companies that are eligible to apply for this MyWit incentive. Before I move on, I like to be clear that the incentive is paid to the companies based on a reimbursement basis. Right? Companies that apply can be companies that are hiring in digital tech roles in any industry, regardless if you're coming from maybe logistics, your company comes from logistics or financial or health, you may qualify, or companies that are hiring digital business services roles in any industries. So the incentives consist of two prongs. Yeah, first is the training incentive, where we say if a company hires an employee and they can either send those new employees to in-house training, where we say we offer up to 5,000 ringgit per person claimable for the in-house training. Or if they opt to send the new employees to external training, then the training incentive will be up to 8,000 ringgit per person. So on the other side is the salary incentive, where we say we offer or will provide 40% of the monthly salary for 6 months to that new employee. But companies must offer a minimum salary of 2,000 ringgit per month. Now, there is a cap on the salary incentive, where we say it's capped at 2,600 ringgit per pax per month. Now, where does that 2,600 ringgit comes from? It's from 40% of 6,500 ringgit. So what does that mean? Let's say, for example, you hired a new employee and you offered them a salary of 8,000 ringgit per month, right? So then the salary incentive that you'll be receiving from MDEC is 40% of the 6,500 ringgit, 2,600 or equivalent to 2,600 ringgit for 6 months, per month for 6 months. So what are the allowable trainings? Because I've mentioned earlier, you can opt either to send your new employees to in-house training or external training. So we say allowable training for in-house is that in order for you to claim that the employee must complete a minimum of 40 hours of training, right? And the training provider can either be an employee of that same organization, or it can be from other entity within the same group of companies. Say, for example, you have a sister company that does training, then you can engage that sister company to provide training for your employee, and that will be considered as in-house training. Or the other option, as I've mentioned earlier, it's an external training. And we say that companies who opt for external or third-party training, they can choose from either 3 of these categories of courses that's listed on MDEC's Digital Skills Training Directory, which I'll go on the next slide about what's MDEC's Digital Skills Training Directory. Now, bear in mind that there is a parenthesis in the third category, which is learning on demand courses. Now, for this type of courses, the new employees have to complete at least 20 hours in order for companies to be able to submit for claims. Yeah. So this is basically just a snapshot of MDEC's Digital Skills Training Directory. These are basically a catalog of courses that have been reviewed and endorsed by industry practitioners. So we have 3 types of courses. The first is work and learn courses. This is more of a short-term courses done suitable more of on a part-time basis. Typically the duration is less than 60 days that covers from basic, intermediate to advanced level. So we have various focus areas under the work and learn courses that goes from data, cybersecurity, software development, games, animation. We also have global business services. And that is already added actually, and we've also just added fintech recently. We have about 70 training or course providers and more than 250 courses to date. And there's a list of some of the examples of courses that's already listed on the directory. So the next type of course is called career upgrade. This is more for those who are looking to do a career change, and typically it's done on a full-time basis, perhaps, for a period of 1 month. The participants will, 100% attend the course, and these type of courses are heavily project oriented. And one of the criteria that we set forth for training providers to be eligible into this category type of course is that they have to either have 90% placement track record or 5 confirmed hiring partners. It is a little bit smaller as far as focus areas. Right now, we only have courses in data, cybersecurity, and software development. And then the final type of course is called learning on demand. Now, these are basically massive open online course providers, the like of LinkedIn, Open Learning, and Leaderonomics, right? It covers various focus areas. It can be that data, cybersecurity, software development. So bear in mind, earlier I've mentioned that, for companies that opt to send their employees to external training and opt for learning on demand courses, the employees must prove that they've completed 20 hours of learning. Because why? These are all online platforms, and clients or learners typically learn on their own. That's why the name learning on demand. So companies can subscribe to LinkedIn Learning for that particular employee, for example, and if they've completed at least 20 hours of materials in the LinkedIn Learning, then companies can actually submit their claims for the training incentive. Right, so this is just basically roles and responsibilities that we've outlined. Of course, MDEC will be responsible to provide the salary incentive, which is 40% of the monthly salary. And again, the incentive is capped at 2,600 ringgit per person per month. right? And the training incentive, which is up to 5,000 ringgit per person for in-house training or 8,000 ringgit per person for third-party or external training. As far as partners, they will be responsible to hire unemployed Malaysians, which include fresh graduates or retrenched employee for any digital tech roles or any digital business services roles. So this can be, for example, if you're hiring a data analyst or software developers, so that's considered as digital tech roles, or digital business services roles can be a customer experience specialist, or perhaps a finance or HR analyst, right? So that's considered as digital business services roles. Now, partners are also responsible to provide training to the employees hired under this program. Now, what does that mean? That means that if they've opted for in-house trainings, then partners are responsible to provide the trainer, either another employee with that organization to provide training, as part of perhaps an onboarding process, or engage with their the group of companies, to provide training to the new hires. Or if it's external training, then they need to ensure that they send the new employees to the third party or external trainings that they've selected. And finally, of course, companies are also responsible to bear the remaining cost of the salary. This is back to the example what I've provided earlier, where, for example, if you hired someone and the salary offered is 8,000 ringgit, right? And we are providing a salary subsidy of 2,600 ringgit maximum. So companies will have to bear the cost of that remaining monthly salary. And training cost that's not covered by the MyWith incentive. What does that mean? Meaning that if you've engaged with an external training provider and the cost of training is perhaps 10,000 ringgit, we will be providing up to 8,000 ringgit, and the rest of the 2,000 ringgit will be out of pocket to companies. Okay, so this is eligibility criteria for hiring partners or companies, right? Number one is that if it's a contract position, then a company must offer an employment for a minimum of 12 months, right? So that's the minimum. And it has to be incorporated in Malaysia under the Companies Act that's stated. We do have a minimum paid up capital of 20,000 ringgit. And of course, the companies must not be subject to liquidation, winding up, or dormant, and it must not be a public sector employer. And finally, we said that company, during the application process, company must declare if there is any close business relationship or close family relationship between the company's director, shareholder, senior management with any of MDEC's director or employee. And then as far as eligibility criteria for employees, again, this is for companies that hires fresh graduate, unemployed, or retrenched employees. And if you note that there's an asterisk next to the unemployed. Now, what is the definition of unemployed here? We say that unemployed is a person with no permanent employment for a minimum of 2 months. Right? And also the employees must be a Malaysian citizen. This ties back to the objective of the program is to increase the hiring of Malaysians, right? And the employees must not be a close family member of the director or shareholder top management of the hiring company. Say if you an organization and you have you just brought on board your brother, of course definitely you can hire your brother, but he will not be eligible under the MyWith program. The next one is commencement date stated in the letter of employment is any date between April 5th of this year to 30th of April of next year. So what does that mean? That means that let's say you have hired two new employees and they were previously unemployed and they joined your organization back in June, right? So they actually qualifies under D because, you've brought them in June. They were previously unemployed and, they are Malaysian citizens. So that, all those ABCDs are checked. Next is they're not a current or past beneficiaries of the MyWit incentive in any company, meaning that, let's say I'm hired by logistics, right? And then, I decide that, hey, this is not, for me, I resign and I join another company A, then company A will not be able to put my name under the MyWit incentive any longer, right? And then finally, the employee must not be a part of Penjana Kerjaya. There's no 2.0, which is we say Penjana Kerjaya and Penjana KPT CAP programs. Again, we want to ensure that this programs is made available to as many Malaysians as possible. Right, so here's some specific conditions. We say that employers may submit multiple applications provided that they have received and signed the partnership agreement of the initial application. So what does that mean? That means we allow you to submit multiple applications, but let's say, for example, today, company A is going to submit application for 3 employees that they brought on board last month. Right, but then you have plans or you've already made an offer to bring some folks on board in December. So you said, you know what, I want to wait before I submit an application. So what does that mean? That means you have to wait until the application that you have submitted today, you've received an answer from MDEC, received the partnership agreement, you've signed it and send it back to us, then only you can submit your the next application. The next one is the reimbursement of the incentive will be on a monthly basis. And then the next one we say is hiring partners are given 2 months from the program completion date, which is 6 months from the latest employment date to submit their final claim. What does that mean? That means that, say if you put in an application for 3 employees that have a commencement date of maybe June, July, and August. Right, so we take the August date and 6 plus 6 months of that will be the program completion month, and you have 2 extra months from that completion date to actually submit your claim. So why do we do this? We want to encourage companies to actually submit their claims on a monthly basis, but we do understand that there's maybe limited of resource, limited of timing, so we provide that 2 months grace period for companies to actually ensure that they are able to submit all their claims. And we say hiring partners are not allowed to replace a participant under the incentive. So that means no backfilling. If Hani resigns from a company that put my name under the MyWit program, and then they brought in someone else to replace me, then they will have to reapply, put in a new application for that new employee. Next is we require companies to notify us within 30 days and provide documentary evidence should the employee resign or if they are terminated, right, from the organization. And then we said that hiring partners are to provide a employee status report at the end of 12 months to verify that the employee is still with the organization. Yeah, so this may include latest a company to provide latest EPF statement or evidence to verify that salary payment has been made to that particular employee. Okay, this is just basically an overall application process. It's all done online. So, companies are responsible to hire, fill in their vacancies first. And decide, what trainings that they want to send the new employees to. Once they've identified that, then they can issue or put in their application online via the mdec.my/mywit. And then we will receive the application and conduct our evaluation and due diligence process. And then if all the boxes are checked, companies are going to receive a partnership agreement, right? Once you've reviewed and countersigned the agreement, then what happens is we say company will need to register within the MDEC e-invoice system. This is for the reimbursement process, right? So once you've done that, then you would need to then submit claim accordingly, as I have outlined earlier, with the documentations that's required, which I'm going to go in now. So here's the application checklist. So what you need to submit along with your application form. First is on the company's side, we say company will need to provide the latest and complete SSM certificate. The next is job information. So say, for example, you've hired someone back in June as an HR analyst. What we need to do is, yes, I'm hiring HR analyst, but what's the job description? You will need to supply us with that information as an attachment. And the next one is employee details. This is a little bit longer. This is where we spend a lot of our due diligence on, is one, copy of the employment offer letter. Again, if it's a contract position, then it needs to indicate the duration of 12 months, minimum duration of 12 months. The copy of employees' my card, the employees detail, we provide companies who's interested to apply with the template in the application form. Right. So, once you go through the application form, there's a template where you can download and re-upload it before you submit to us. The next is copy of final transcript, a certificate or official letter of completion from the employee's university or institution. This is only for fresh graduate. And if they were retrenched, then we say, please provide us with a copy of retrenchment letter. From the training perspective, what are the information or documentation needed? Is that for external training, we say you need to supply us with a quotation for the selected courses from the provider. And if it's in-house training, again, you need to complete details per the template provided. Again, it goes back into the application form where we have provided a template. If company opt for in-house training, there are sections or informations that we're looking for, that you can download from and the Excel and then re-upload it before submitting to us. Information such as what's the course name, what are the modules being covered, who is the trainer, and things like that. And finally, this is also part of the application form, a written declaration to that all the documents and information are submitted correct, and it has to be signed by an authorized signatory. Now, when it comes to disbursement stage, this is when you're ready to file for your claims. We do require some documentation as evidence. First is evidence that the employee has completed the training, right? So if it's external training, it's going to be attendance slip or completion certificate, and also invoice of proof of payment to that provider. If it's in-house training, then we say we would require training attendance slip and also a document that to evidence the training costs, which in the template that we've provided, and that template have to be signed by an authorized signatory. As far as the salary incentive, what we would require from companies is that we would need payslip or an or EPF statement of the participating employee. And finally, along the application form before submitting, there is going to be a written declaration that's required by an authorized signatory to ensure or to state that all the information and documentation provided are true and correct. I think this is my last slide, and I hope that this is beneficial, and enablers out there can take advantage of this. With that, if there's any question.
Got Rizwan, are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, Hani, maintain this slide. There's only one question by Nazmi.
Sure.
Right. Hani, they want to know who to contact.
Who to contact?
There.
Answered already.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sure.
So, Hani, the application is still going on until when do you advise them that this is closed? Because the employment is up to April 2022, kan?
Correct. So we say if just a little bit of background. Yeah, the program came about as a result of our Belanjawan 2021. So we say the commencement date for employees is from April 5th up until April 20th, 2022. But mind you, we say that this is subject to fund availability. Right. So once we've hit like a certain threshold, then we'll say, okay, we won't be accepting any more applications. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. So PDF the slides for us, and then after that, I'll share them in a thank you note. Thanks, Hani, for your time.
Thank you.
Bhaskar, are you here?
Yes, Carol, I'm here.
Okay, cool. Let me remove the pin of and add you. Now, this is the last presentation by Bhaskar. Now, he is going to educate even me. I am totally new to this. So share your screen first. Totally new to me when it comes to VAT collection, especially for people who are doing exports. Okay. He's sharing his slide. This is the last presentation. So this is still recorded. And I know some of you shy, don't dare to ask questions because maybe you don't know how to ask. Yeah. So Nazmi, I hope you have that answered already for who to contact back in MyWit. Yeah. Slides are coming up. Okay, Bhaskar, the floor is yours.
Yes, good morning everyone. Thank you so much, Carol, and it's good to see you after such a long period. Okay, basically we are from Aurora. Aurora is actually a Euro-based company, and they are team up with a company called Savena in Malaysia. So what is Aurora? Aurora is basically a import one-stop shop center, IOSS for VAT collection. It means that before July this year, any goods moving by B2B or B2C for the cargo value less than 22, not required VAT, tax payment in Europe. Okay, but after this year, July, the Europe countries except UK came with a new policy because they want all the goods moving into Europe, goods anything from 0.1 until less than 150, you are required to declare. You are required to declare at the country of origin. Say the shipper is a e-commerce people in Malaysia, either in a commercial basis in a big way, or SME in Malaysia, where they are doing either B2B or B2C. They may send some samples, or commercial people, they may send their B2C goods to end customer in Europe, except UK. They are required to register their VAT in Malaysia itself. So that is the purpose of this. So if you look at it, this is a new regulation to cover the entire 27 European countries and implemented just from July 2021. So what is this all about? This is actually, I call it as a partnership program between Aurora and between the shipper or the customer in Malaysia. Means that this system, Aurora is providing IOSS. This system means that this system will be registered with your company, And it's like shipping documents. You have invoice, packing list, and then VAT will be registered. Say you have 10 SKU, 10 types of goods you are sending from here, B2C basis to Europe. So your stuff will be registered online basis. It's not required big registration, it's all be online. And then the VAT will tell you, first will be registered your goods, and then you will declare what is the amount you got to pay for the goods. Say, for example, you are sending a pair of shoes to Europe. So you will tell you based on the declaration of VAT, on the cargo, on the goods registration, what is the amount you got to pay, you know? And then you can charge this back mostly either to shipper or to consignee. Most of the time, they charge back to consignee. So this is actually a full integration system, means that it's integrated cloud basis. So once you integrate your system, like in preparing the invoice packing list, you also can do this. Who are the people? Those are involved in the e-commerce business, either go on a B2B or B2C basis. This is secure, been approved by EU tax regulations, and it is only one sub-center for the entire process. I call it, this is a full presentation, means a full representative office, means that any VAT declaration in Europe by right, you're required to have an office in Europe, because there'll be a lot of questions. For example, your VAT you have registered, but it's error, or it could be a wrong declaration, maybe the amount is wrong. So normally the customs will go back to the consignee and ask, hey, what's going on this cargo? You registered wrongly, or you declared wrongly, and so on. So you need to have a rep. But by putting up a partnership with Aurora, IOSS, we will handle the entire question and answer. So once cargo arrives there, if there's any in the regulations aspect we need to follow, we will do the entire solution for you on your behalf. So that we call full representations. And I call it, this is a partnership program, because you can gain. You assume that you are B2B, you are marketplace player in Malaysia, or you are doing SME, for example. You are Korea and parcel company, small scale, for example. What normally does, people will go back to FedEx or DHL and UPS and so on. They say, okay, I don't care anything about VAT, you just handle for me. By doing this, mostly all these companies will charge you. They call it VAT surcharge application. The amount could be X amount, but when they charge you, it can be XXX. It can be more. So eventually, you are paying, your customer required to pay more, or your consignee required to pay more, or you paying more. But actual fact amount, when you register with us, it's become a partnership where you can have actual amount, and you will have options whether you want to increase a little bit more because of your value-added services. So this is what I mean is a partnership program between seller and IOSS programmer. And assume you don't have this program. That is, I'm talking about July this year. Number one, if you're not registered your VAT at the point of selling, once cargo arrives there, definitely customs won't clear your goods. And then there'll be a lot of communication between yourself, the customs, or even in a consignee to understand what is the amount. Just for information, regularly, at least about 10 to 15% goods be returned or destroyed because this is not being declared. And many in Malaysia is not aware this program yet. It's still new. So when you are keeping the goods there, you need to pay additional charges because no one will allow you to keep that. Then you don't have a fiscal agency there or rep there in Europe covering 27 countries to resolve your matters. What will happen when you go there, your goods arrive there, consignee will be waiting, but the goods not being declared, and so on, So, and no payment guarantee means that if it's a scam, nobody going to pay you anything because under VAT, your goods will be registered officially, and if the cargo is illegal, no one will accept it. The system will reject in Malaysia itself. for whatever reasons. Say the cargo is expected to be illegal, not authorized to ship out, or for whatever reasons, it will be registered, it will be declined in Malaysia. Save your cost, save your time, image, so on. So, and you also many unaware of the changes in tax regulations and unaware of the denying parties, and cargo returns the damages responsibility. Assume your cargo arrived in Europe, but cargo cannot be declared, and then what's going to happen? Say you are sending about 50 pieces, and all the 50 not be registered, and the value would be about under 50 per unit times 50, and all this cargo either you need to return, you need to maybe you need to scrap whatsoever. So the advantage is by having your own IOSS registration with your company, and you can avoid all these damages. So moving back to what are the other hand, what are the advantage by having IOSS? IOSS is very simple, straightforward. It will be registered within 13 working days, means that your system will be API with our system, with IOSS, to cover all the basic inquiries, that is your company's background, what cargo you're moving, and what are the VAT regulations, what are the HS code. We are providing more than 100,000 HS codes which are required in the system. So you left all the goods which you are sending to Europe, you just go back to the HS code, the first two or towards the end four, and then you are registered your goods in Malaysia, and you will know what is the VAT you need to pay, and then you can inform the consignee in advance that, look, this is the amount you need to pay, and then that's it. And once you reach there, the goods will arrive, for example, in Rotterdam or Amsterdam. People can collect the goods themselves, or they can appoint their own agent. Even they want us to handle the custom clearance, and we also can deliver to them. Also is fine. So this is no termination fee. Once you register and assume that you don't have audit, you need to cancel. Fine, not a problem. There's no termination fee. Only a registration fee will be there. And this is a point of sales, means that we need to register here, and the amount will be charged here. And you can charge back to your customer, or you can add value with your fee in the basic cost we are providing. Also, it's fine, not an issue. And we also can provide customs brokerage in Europe. We can do the clearance for you and deliver to your customers. It's like courier company, but without VAT, and we are with VAT. And it's online, everything. This is a basic requirement of tax regulations now, and speedy immediate customs clearance, and the charges is very reasonable. I believe it's very reasonable. I can we done our work, and compared to all the big players, these charges much lower. So these are the information which we like to share with you. But this is the contact details. Luwjistik is our marketing manager for Aurora, and of course you can reach me as well, and we can give you more details, time frame, cost factors, whatever information you require. Carol, this is my presentation, and anything else? Can I stop share, or we will ask questions?
Maintain this slide. Yeah. So is there a registration fee for business owners to register for Aurora system? Is it subscription fee and all?
Yes, there's only a registration fee first. There will be 3 charges. Okay, 2 is considered as a compulsory, 1 is option. The first will be a admin or registration fee, okay, which is about I think euro 120, 130, And then number 2 will be based on the volume. Say Malaysian B2B people or seller, or B2C seller in Malaysia, courier company, and whoever doing on B2C or B2B. If the volume is about 0 to 50, there's a 1 figure. Anything more than 50, so it means that it's based on the volume. If volume is less, you pay less. Your volume is more, there's a breakdown of volume.
So when you quote 50, is that 50 in volume? What is 50?
No, 50 pieces per month.
Oh, okay.
Orders per month.
Okay.
So someone got 20 pieces, so it's a breakdown. So 0 to 50. Someone for 20, you pay the same. Someone got 51, you go to the next breakdown. And the third one is subject to the shipper's interest. If they say no, your company let do the clearance and deliver, it's fine. So then there will be customs clearance and last mile delivery. That is optional. If they have their own customs clearance there and delivery, also it's fine, not issue.
Okay.
So basically, it's more towards registration and the volume.
So in Aurora, who are your target clients to use Aurora?
In Malaysia, basically, is number one is logistic companies.
Ah.
Okay, those are doing B2B, B2C, which the volume is less than 150. Those are doing B2C or B2C. The volume is less than 150 euro will be our customers, potential customers.
150
It can
euro
be-
per parcel, you mean?
Yes, because anything less than under 50, only you can declare under this system. Anything more than 150, you go to customs clearance, like freight forwarding.
Okay.
Like in Malaysia, anything less than 500, you're not required to do the same, you know. So it can be Malaysia SME companies, Malaysia e-commerce companies, Malaysia's postal and courier companies, you know, Malaysia's logistic companies, you know, and these are the people who are sending, you know, goods. Even movers, you know, they send samples and all that, you know, trading companies, you know, all these can be the customers.
Now, maybe I'm a little bit not well versed in VAT collection, only know how to pay. Which country collects VAT that needed this, that we needed this?
27 countries in Europe
Wow.
except UK. Because
Except UK. Okay.
UK BRICS, so they have their own standard of law. I know. So the rest is fine. That was a question also people asked. Okay, if I send to Amsterdam, but my final concern is in UK, you have to follow US. Amsterdam is going to be clear, but from Amsterdam to UK, you have to follow the UK rules.
I see. So currently, there is no such system like this. How does the logistic company use this for the VAT collection?
You see, this is a new system.
Yeah.
It started only June this year.
Yeah.
Okay, so most of the companies, because this is a B2C, a small volume. Logistic companies normally they hand over to the big players like DHL and so on. They will enter. Okay, and I believe these people will surcharge for this.
So it's very manual at the moment. There's no place for them to come back to a dashboard to see what are the VATs supposed to be charged to the customer, right? So our logistic company just simply charge our customer. The customer could be overpaying or underpaying, right?
Absolutely, definitely, because there's no, you know, because they hand over to someone and someone will X someone, you know, so people don't know. Now we are telling you why you want to pay. We fix you this problem in your computer, and then you pay here what is the actual amount.
Thanks, Bhaskar. I believe that the people here do not know how to ask questions, or maybe this is new for logistic companies.
So feel free to send an email.
Correct.
Elizabeth.
Okay. We managed to finish very good in time. Thank you, Bhaskar. Thank you, CP, Hani.
And we are here to support whether there's a, we can meet them and we can give online advice by emails. It's fine. Apart from Nawek, Elizabeth, myself.
Okay.
Cool.
Thanks again, Bhaskar, and happy Deepavali.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thanks. Appreciate your help.
No problem.
Okay, Carol.
Take
Thanks a
care.
lot for everyone. Thank you. Bye.
So guys, we'll be sharing a recap, a replay of this video at our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel, our unofficial YouTube channel at Carol C Fung CL, right? But don't expect you can actually watch it now. You have to give Carol some time to actually edit. Carol is still editing last week's Pocket Talk series, E-Jasmine, right? And we would like to also share with you what's happening this afternoon. Right?
Afternoon, we have another session with Machine Kira. Let me copy the link, Machine Kira.
Put like Carol.com.
Yeah. Wait, let me copy into the chat. I got carolfung.com. I don't want to put in my website lah. Have to SEO and pay. Thank you, Nazmi. Hi Carol, will you be emailing the PDF to us? Novak, you are from Aurora. I will only email all the PDF slides to the attendees. Yes, if you're part of the attendees, I will share it to you. I've already got the slides from CP and also from Hani. Thank you, CP. Thank you, Hani. Edmund also putting that in slides. I've already got logistics, and now it's down to Basker also already passed me the slides. Okay.
But this one also subject to time. Give us some time to compile.
Yeah.
To do last minute checking before we submit to you.
Okay lah. Don't want to be sending you unpublicized materials. Okay. Thank you, Nazmi. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Daniel, for attending. Faisal, thank you coming. And that's it. We have for this month of our Friday catch up with our enablers. So we look forward to see what we can share again, perhaps from other division in MDEC, other programs that we have. Okay. Thank you, Rizwan, for helping.
So
Thank
we
you
will stop this for this year, right?
Yeah, no more already.
So no more for this year.
Yeah, but if we have our enablers, I got 2 in line right now for December one. So I'll see what kind of content again we can share to the enablers. So I see you all later lah, 3 p.m.
Yeah, let us know what kind of content that you want also. You can contact Carol, you can contact myself, you can put a message at our Ding Talk.
Thank you, CP.
Yes, you can post a message at our Facebook groups and also at the comment section of the YouTube channel. Cool.
Thanks, guys. Let me stop recording. Thank you, everybody, for coming.
Thank
See
you,
you again the
everyone.
next, and see you in Pocket Talk later at 3 p.m.
Thank you so much. See you.
Thanks, Bas.